Tesla has been trying to break 261.83 for 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. It was going lower, then was pushing back up, and now we have a breakthrough. So we are moving beyond that resistance at 261.83. This is why we are calling this a resistance, because the price could not go higher. The buyers were not strong enough relative to the sellers to push the price up. And now we have this move up. And if we switch on the 1 hour chart, yeah, we can see that the move happened during the first hour. So the first hour is right here, the big green candle. So we went right through 261.83 and went and stopped at 265.32, which is another support that we had in the past. So we stopped there. There is no random move in the stock market. It always stops in the same place, and sometimes it reverts back and sometimes it goes through after having stopped. And then this went a little bit higher, went as high as 268.63, and now it's pulling back a little bit, but we are still above 261.83. This is a step change, and this is the only thing that we need in technical analysis, is that we see we have a clog at some point. The stock is stuck at some point, and when it gets released, then depending on some other factors, we can consider it a buy signal. Here on the 1 hour chart, this is a buy signal. We have stochastic over 60, we have everything else that's positive. If we go back on the daily chart, this is also a buy signal, because as I said, we broke through a resistance. So right now we have a stochastic at 65. So we had the red thumb down because we were below 60, and now we are above 55. All of our indicators are super great. Now the cautious part is that we have a big downward resistance coming very soon, so we might be caving into that one. We still need to break 265.32. We have broken it during the day. It would be nice if we could break above it tomorrow. It would be a little bit better. And then we could be caving into that downward resistance right here at around 276 down to 274.60 something, depending on when we are going to reach that downward resistance. We have the earnings call for Tesla that is going to happen next week. So this will also impact what is going to happen. So right now we cannot say that this is the buy signal of the century, that it will last a long time. We still have a couple of hurdles that we need to cross. There's this war in Israel also. We need to take this into account. Let's take a look at the VIX quickly to see how the fear indicator of the stock market is doing. The VIX is coming down. This is good for the stock market. We are down 3.79, so this is great. Down 0.67. And we have been bouncing on 1658. We have been staying above 1658 for maybe 2 weeks, the past 2 weeks. It would be nice if we would break this one lower. If we break this lower tomorrow, then this is going to give a further impulse to Tesla. And there's also the bonds. The 10-year bond is just a little bit higher, but we still made a lower high and we still made a lower low. So the bonds are coming down a little bit. This is giving an impulse also to the stock market. Let's take a look at some Tesla news. So here we have a news that says that Tesla's base Model 3 and Model Y now have both cheaper starting prices than the average new car in the US. So this could open the eyes of more buyers who didn't consider going electric before. Absolutely. This is a chart of the price difference between the Model 3 and Y compared to the US average, and now they are below average. Yeah, I think this is a decent milestone. You have great cars that are below the average price for a car, so I think this is significant. Let's take a look at Rivian. After the big move down that we had last week, we are pulling back a little bit. So this is just a pullback. We don't have stochastic over 60. This is just a pullback within a downward trend. Nothing to see here. Of course, if you want to profit from that pullback against the trend is going down. If you want to play against this, then you can go on the 1 hour chart. And then on the 1 hour chart, we could be close to a buy signal. We have this big downward resistance. We have a good stochastic. We have just broken a horizontal resistance. So you could consider this a buy signal, with the caveat that, you know, this is a little bit more risky because you are going against the trend. Xpeng is up 4%. That's quite a lot, 0.65%. This is really bouncing on 1657. But we are still in a congestion zone, and I think I'm going to get rid of this downward resistance because this is not adding much. This is where we are right now, in a congestion zone between 1523 and 1922. NEO, yeah, this is going sideways, 5.88%. In terms of percentages, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. If we look at it a little bit more closely, we have a congestion zone at 923 right there. So unless we break 923, I would not touch this. And of course, we have some downward resistance right here that we need to think about also. This is not really prime time to go bullish for a long time. You can play with it, but not much more. Apple, we are starting to see some caving in a little bit. So we are down 0.34%. We have a good stochastic. This is the good news. And we have this candle that's not really looking super good. We can see that we were stopped right here. You see, this is where we were right here. So we are into a congestion zone, a smaller congestion zone than what we have just a little bit above. So maybe this is going to be broken eventually. We have a good stochastic, so maybe this could continue. ARM is breaking 54.55 for a second time, and now we are starting to see a pattern. We have broken this 54.55 without much additional move. This is telling me that we need to change our congestion zone. So I'm gonna put another one at 56.78. And if we break 56.78, then chances are a little bit better that we are going to continue, because we have a hard time continuing. 54.55, we did not have a hard time breaking it and coming down. So this is what was telling me that this is not the best congestion zone for what the stock is doing. And this is what we need to do. We need to adjust our lines to what is happening in the market. Palantir is up 1%, so it's still continuing up a little bit. It's coming up a little bit. This is a red candle. We have a good stochastic. We are up 1.08%, closed at 1780. We are pretty much sitting on 1780. Is that? Yeah, 1778, I think I had put it. We are basically resting on this one. This is fine to take a little bit of a pause because we had a big move for the past 2 days. We need to let it rest. Nvidia going a little bit higher, so 1.16%. We have stochastic at 91, so it looks like we are going to reach 479.22. Let's look at our indices a little bit. So Dow Jones 0.4%, so we have gained back the entry into our downward channel. And we have gained back to 33,638, so moving up higher. S&P 500 has been stopped by its downward resistance right here, and this is pretty close. So it's still a move up. It's still a move up. It's still a move up, but we are still into this downward channel. Nasdaq Composite, we have gained back 13,562. But the candle is not the best. When we have a long wick at the top right here, this is showing us that we tried to go high, but then we were squished down. Physical gold is caving in a little bit. Silver, this is a sideways day. Bitcoin, we can see that this is just going sideways. We are losing stochastic. XRP, I'm disappointed with this. We are losing stochastic. Let's hope that it maintains at least this support right here. It almost broke it, but let's hope that it maintains. We see some wick here at the bottom, so we have people that are still getting into it. So let's hope that sellers get tired and that the buyers continue. US dollar is continuing its drop at 1 and still above 105.475. We'll see if it rests on that or goes further. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.